Yo, what's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3 for the week. We've got a pretty exciting matchup here. We've got the Fire King Tri-Brigade deck taking on the Runick Generator strategy. Now, I know what I said in the past couple feature matches. I said I was going to try to have no Rescue Ace and no Fire King. Just take a break from them because they were on a lot in the last couple feature matches. But my man Dalen was piloting some sauce, and I could not deny him a chance on the feature match, right? It's not just pure Fire King, it's Tri-Brigade Fire King. His bread and butter deck had to have it on here just to see if he could get the job done. But Runick Generator starting off strong here, winning the die roll. And we're going to see them set up a nice little draw 3 here, all in the draw phase. One of the most disgusting things that this deck can do is just play so much in the draw and standby phases just because they've got all those quick play spells. Meanwhile, that Droll's just sitting there chilling in the opponent's hand right now. And now they're going to finally move to standby and to main phase, where they are going to start with Upstart Goblin. Draw 3 wasn't enough. Let's go ahead and draw another. But now we can go ahead and Droll our opponent at the cost of gaining 1,000 life points. Now they're going to fire off a copy of the World Legacy Monstrosity, a card I haven't seen played in a hot minute. I think the last deck that I can recall playing this card was maybe the, what was it, the Guard Dragon, Thunder Dragon deck? I can't remember exactly, but it's a really crazy card. So long as your deck can get level 9s on the field, and what deck plays level 9s better than Generators, right? So target level 9 monster, you control a specimen from your deck, 2 level 9 monsters, each with different original types and attributes from that face-up targeted monster, and they have to have different names. We're going to see them bring out the Vala and the Hela. They do have their effects negated, but doesn't really matter too much here because we can still play around with some of their graveyard effects. And you'll see that here in just a moment as we slab over the Generator boss stage. Over top, the Runick Fountain, a superior field spell, at least in this situation. Going for Enter Blast, and here it's going to force a card out of the opponent's hand. It's going to force that Imperm. Normally we'll just banish a random card, but now I guess if they have Imperm, they get to choose which card they're getting rid of. Doesn't really make too big of a difference here. The card still did the job, and they're going to use the effect of the Vala, or the Hela rather, to tribute itself to bring out the Vala, and then Vala will bring out the tributed Hela to go for another rank 9. So we're getting another hand rip here, and we're just going to take these 2 Enter Blasters and turn them into a Utopic Draco, which is pretty insane. And yeah, I wanted to read that World Legacy Monstrosity. It does not negate the effects of the monsters that it brings out, which is kind of crazy considering, you know, that's just E-Telly for 2 level 9s right there. But of course, you got to have a level 9 in play, which not many decks do get the opportunity to do that, so I guess it's fair enough. But they're setting 1, draw phase. The boss stage is going to do its thing. The opponent added a card from the deck to the hand. They're going to get a special summon a Generator, and then on the summon of that Generator, they're going to get to summon as many tokens as possible. Lopter is brought out, which can basically just tag out one of those tokens and bring out a Generator from the deck. We're going to see them activate Fire King Island, and here we're going to see them use the Lopter to tribute off a token to go ahead and bring out Har, one of the best bosses in the entire archetype. I gotta say, this card does so much. Basically, once per turn, if your opponent adds a card or cards from their deck to their hand, except in the draw phase, you can make your opponent send 1 monster from their hand or field to the graveyard. And when a card or effect is activated, you contribute 2 Generator and or Spellcaster monsters and negate the activation if you do destroy that card. So we're going to see them activate Fire King Island here, popping a kit, which is importantly a fire monster, which is hilarious considering, you know, he's got the Kieran, or not the Kieran in hand, but the Runick. So we're going to see Chainlink 1 kit, Chainlink 2 Runicks here, and we're going to see Chainlink 3 Har to negate, and then Chainlink 4 Har to make them send a monster from their hand or field to the graveyard. And they did have a ruling question here. They wanted to know if that Har could use both of its effects on the same chain like this, if sequenced that way. Basically came down to the ruling. You know, they brought 3 people over to kind of see whether or not they could do this. You know, first they're saying you can only use 1, but after a, you know, avid Generator enthusiast came over to discuss the matter, you know, we were able to get to the bottom of the fact that you could use both effects, because it is worded very similar, actually almost exactly like Droll is worded, and you can use both effects there. And upon realization that, we're going to see the Tri-Brigade Fire King deck admit defeat, as there probably isn't much that they can do there. So we're going to go into game 2. Quick shout out to Imperium Duelist, guys. Check them out, the link below. Don't forget to use my discount code WINNERKILLS at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And if you're buying anything on TCG Player, feel free to use my affiliate link found in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back into the channel and helps out a ton. So that Fire King Tri-Brigade deck, starting things off here in Game 2 with the Wanted, bringing out, well, adding the Diabell Star, the Black Witch. Had a pretty hard time finding in the deck there. Sometimes those one-ofs tend to hide themselves pretty well. I see 2 copies of Crossout Designator and Ash Blossom. And yeah, it looks like the Fire King Sanctuary. So we're going to see them summon Diabell, sending off an extra Crossout. We don't need 2 in the hand, obviously. That is going to go ahead and set the original Sinful Spoils. And then, I was going to say, this isn't their only line to play here. So they'll go ahead and use OSS, getting rid of the Diabell. And this will probably bring out the Ponix. And on summon, that's going to go ahead and add a Fire King spell or trap. Now, they've already got a way to Fire King Island in the form of Sanctuary, so they're just going to go ahead and grab the Skyburn. The Fire King Skyburn. Quick play spell. Nice piece of interruption to add to the end board. Activating Fire King Sanctuary, that's going to go ahead and grab the Fire King Island from the deck and activate it immediately. So now they have access to even more engine. Before going any further, though, they're going to go ahead and use the Wanted to put back the OSS and draw a card. That extra little +1 there. And, can't tell exactly what that brought out. I don't know if it was Bell or not. Maybe some kind of hand trap. But they will use Fire King Island to blow up the Ponix. And that'll trigger its other effect. Kieran will go ahead and get special summoned. As a card that they added, it does see the destruction. And they can destroy from deck here. It's going to destroy the Kieran. And Kieran will bring back the Ponix. And then we're going to see them link 2 into the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. And not sure what else they can do here. Looks like they've got Nerval. They have not normal summon. So they can just go ahead and normal summon Nerval, banishing a copy of Ponix and the Runick. Kind of saucy, I'm not going to lie. To go for the Kit. Never thought I'd see an end board with Sunlight Wolf and Kit. Or, not Kit, Bearbrum on it. Sunlight Wolf will go ahead and add 1 back. They will not get the Ponix add back now because it is banished, but not the end of the world. And seeing what they're going to want to link the Bearbrum and the Nerval into here. Looks like they're going to go into the Farigit. Nope, just kidding. Going into SP Little Knight. And then they're going to go ahead and use the effect of Nerval to add and Bearbrum to add a beautiful QCR copy of Revolt. That is definitely a well-deserved rarity bump there, for sure. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 back, of course, as a result of the Bearbrum. Then use Fractal here. Looks like they decided to put back a copy of Crossout Designator. That last copy, now maybe deciding at this point in the combo, they don't really care if they get hit with any type of hand traps, and also probably assuming the opponent does not have any hand traps for them, so might as well just get rid of it. Now we're ending on SP with Revolt and Skyburn. Pretty okay end board there. It's kind of neat to see that the Fire King engine can help enable the Tri-Brigade engine. But of course, both engines can just play on their own. Very, very cool to see. And we're about to see something pretty crazy from our Runick Generator player. Harpy's Feather Duster is going to come down as the first card. Kind of broken. Kind of broken. That will force out the Revolt. And they could use the Sanctuary, of course, to protect the Fire King Island. I don't know why they would. It says, once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy 1 fire monster in your hand or face a field instead. So they might just, like, destroy the Sunlight Wolf, but they're just going to go ahead and chain Revolt to this. And I guess I was going to say, they don't have to worry about getting Ponix, like, losing Ponix, because I just Revolt brings it back, I guess. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, they're just going to go ahead and bring out Shurig. And they get to pop a fire monster if they want to protect the Fire King Island. They will clear the Sunlight Wolf. I think that probably makes the most sense. And then Sanctuary will go. And now Nerval effect will activate. It sucks that the Shurig has nothing really worthwhile to banish. But it's better than just not resolving it, right? So they'll get that all set up. And then Dark Ruler no more. Alright, 2 board breakers in the hand. And how about 3? How about 3? Add an evenly match on top of that. And, I mean, I feel like... I mean, you could chain SP Little Knight to this, no? Could you not just chain SP Little Knight there and banish itself and Shurig? Am I missing something? Oh, wait, it got Dark Ruler. Okay, yeah, I was clearly missing something. Yeah, choosing to keep the Shurig there, I think that probably makes the most sense. And now we're going to continue on in main phase 2, activating a copy of Runick Destruction, going for the Hugin. Hugin effect, discarding Trias Hierarchia. I think that's how you say that. Yeah, Trias Hierarchia. And that's going to attempt to go ahead and search out for the Fountain, of course, but it's going to get ashed. And then we're going to see them special summon Gizmek Kaku. One of my actual favorite Gizmek cards has like never seen the light of the day. It says if a monster is in the extra monster zone, you can special this card from your hand. You can target one face-up monster in the extra monster zone, equip that face-up monster to this card, max 1. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon one of your monster cards equipped to this card. Yeah, interesting little tech there. It is a level 9. There are probably going to be cards in the extra monster zone pretty consistently, nowadays anyways, so... Trias Hierarchy will summon itself by sending off the Hugin, but now we're going to see Kieran blow up the kit, and since a fire was destroyed, the Garunix can bring itself back, and then Garunix can pop one. It's going to pop a Kieran. That'll trigger Kieran's graveyard effect, a reborn one from the grave, and then pop a card on the field. Looks like they're trying to bring back a copy of Ponix, and I think they're just getting the rundown on both Trias and Gizmek Kaku, the Supreme Shining Sky Stag. And it looks like they're just going to go ahead and mid-defeat there. A lot of board breakers, but not strong enough amount of engine there as we take it to a Game 3 situation. Pretty long Game 3 here, as you can probably tell by the video length. 12 minutes here. And this is sped up 150%. So Game 3, of course, the Runick Generator strategy will decide to go first here, starting with a copy of Runick Destruction. It seems like they always start Destruction every single time. Every Runick replay I've watched recently is always Runick Destruction first. Every time. 100%. But they're going to go for Hugin Shocker, discarding a copy of Flashing Fire to go ahead and search out for the Runick Fountain. And I do see Droll Knockbird in the hand for our Fire King player. And that's one thing that always feels so terrible. Like there are few things in the game that feel as bad as you know, watching your opponent do Runick combo like in the draw phase or while you have a Droll in hand. There are a few things that are as worse as that. And we're seeing that synergy with Gizmek Kaku here, special summoning itself, giving himself a level 9 on board, moving the Hugin out of the EMZ, allowing him to play a Flashing Fire to bring out a Sleipnir. And then that's also going to proc Fountain here. We're going to get to draw 3 skill drain amongst them, Called by the Grave and Vala. And we'll see if he decides to fire off that Called by on the Droll Knockbird. Assuming that is a Called by. It looks like a Called by, but... I don't know. Maybe they're just deciding not to use it. Maybe we just make the opponent lose an extra card because we're just going to rip another one here with our Blathnir. Hits a Kieran out of the hand. That's a pretty solid hit. They just have Fire King Island and a copy of Kit. Vala will special summon itself by sending off the Hela, and then Vala on summon will bring out the Hela. Are we just going to go for another Enter Blathnir here? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to rip another card out of the opponent's hand? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Nope. We are going for the Leviathan Generator Boss of Shadows with set 2. Yeah, they got double kit Fire King Island. Not the craziest hand there. And it looks like they draw into maybe it looks to be a Ponix there. So Leviathan, monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack and defense. Pretty busted. Quick effect, you can contribute the 60 summon card, special summon one non-fairy generator exceeds monster from your extra deck. Then you can attach this card. Attach cards from any field and or graveyard to that special monster as material up to the number of materials this card had. Very interesting card. So we're going to go ahead and see him activate Fire King Island. That's going to blow up Kit, and they're probably just going to add the Garunix here. Chainlink 1 Kit, Chainlink 2 Garunix. Pretty solid combo. It's also just crazy that Kit's a fire monster. I guess so is Fractal too, right? Nerval's a wind and Karass is an earth, but called by the grave here and skill drain as yeah, so Chainlink 1 kit, Chainlink 2 Runick, Chainlink 3 called by on the kit, Chainlink 4 skill drain, dropping him down a whole rack here, and Runick is not going to be able to do a whole lot else here. They've got Ponix, which they could summon, but that doesn't do much. They're going to attempt to go battle phase here and clear over the Leviathan, but they're just going to use its effect. Tributes itself off the field for cost, so they can play under skill drain. And they're just going to attach that to the other Generaider, Jormungandr, and the Generator boss of Eternity. Just taking his cards from him. And ends up just passing turn there, I believe. They do have to skip their battle phase, I believe, because of Runick stuff. And then those pass turn. Even if they don't, they only swing in for 2,900 damage there. But not much our Fire King player can do here. That skill drain is pretty oppressive. I don't know if they sided in a whole ton of back row hate. If anything, maybe Cosmic Cyclones. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of rough. There's a special summon out of Vala by pitching a Har. Activate Monstrosity. That's going to go ahead and force an Ash Blossom. I think, yeah, you definitely have to Ash that. Battle phase into the set. That's going to proc a kit effect to go ahead and dump Nerval. And Nerval will go ahead and add here another copy of kit, and then 29 indirectly with the Ender Blast here. And they draw into... Can't tell if that was Revolt or not. Looks like a trap card. Yeah, it is a Revolt. Keeping that in going second, which, I mean, I guess fair enough. Right? Maybe? No? I don't know. It's a pretty crucial card for your engine. Hard to kind of side it out, I guess, if you are going for it pretty much 99% of the time. Jormungandr does have 1,000 attack and defense, or 1,000 attack up to the number of materials, but of course skill drain is stopping that. Battle phase, we're just attacking into another set Nerval, attacking in for another 29. It looks like it's just going to be a slow beat down here until maybe they can find some way to out the skill drain. And then they're pretty much in there, is because the opponent doesn't really have any form of interaction that we have to worry about right now. You know, the Ender Blaster's not doing anything. The Jormungandr isn't really doing anything super crazy. So, yeah, it's this quick effect you can attach from this card. Each player draws one card, then each player that drew attaches one card from their hand to this card. So that's pretty much all it does. I mean, it makes your opponent draw a card. Not that great of a card, in my opinion, if you're letting your opponent just draw. But they do pick up Skyburn for turn. Not exactly what they wanted to see, so they're just going to go ahead and normal summon Ponix. And the Skyburn, I don't know if that pops any card. Target equal number of Fire King monsters you control, and monsters you control, and cards your opponent controls. Okay, so yeah. We can pop Ponix, and we can pop the skill drain. And we're also going to activate Revolt in response to that to bring out 4. Things kind of turning around here for Tri-Brigade Fire King, going for Shureg. So that will resolve new chain. Shureg will be able to banish, and they'll get to search out a copy of Fire King Sanctuary. Since they did that on summon. So the Ponix was able to get off the field and dodge the skill drain. But they do have freezing curses for the Shureg, which will shut that effect down and make them banish some. Yeah, and I believe they wouldn't have gotten to search yet. They will have to banish first off of the freezing curse. I believe it's 3. They lose Diabellstar, which may be a 1-of. If so, that's going to kind of hurt to lose that. And they're going to go ahead and put back 1 and draw. I mean, so the only thing that's really online right now for Generaider is, of course, the Jormungandr. They also have Fountain. That could potentially still be live, allowing them to play whatever they just drew. But that Skyburn, definitely, I didn't think that was going to be an out there. I thought it just got rid of monsters, but it does clear cards. So they go and special summon Karass here, and it looks like we're just playing Tri-Brigade at this point. banishing 2, and they're going to go ahead and detach Fire King Island, making both players draw 1, and then attach 1 from their hand. They just drew Harpy's Feather Duster. That's got to hurt to give away. So they're going to attach the Vala and the HFD. But they'll still get to bring out Bearbrum. And I mean, it's still definitely a very winnable game, but time is a thing. They have taken a lot of damage this game. A lot of damage. They're going to activate Fire King Sanctuary. And in response, they're going to chain Runick Destruction to shut that down. But they do have Skyburn engrave. You manage this card from your graveyard. Yeah, if a Fire King card or card you control be destroyed, you manage this card from your graveyard instead. But you can only use 1 effective Skyburn per turn. So they will not be able to do that, unfortunately. And they will banish 4 off the top. Battle phase, they're just going to go over Enter Blathnir. No. Instead, linking into access code. Chainlink 1 Shureg, Chainlink 2 access code. And that access code is huge. It is at 6,300. Banishing a fire. We can clear the fountain. Banishing a dark, we can clear the Jormunder. And I don't believe they have any more links engrave. Yeah, making sure they give them back their cards. Battle phase attack over at 6,300. Over that 2,900 Enter Blathnir. For a decent chunk of damage there. They did need to make up quite a bit of damage. But I don't know if it's actually going to end up being enough. Because I haven't done the life points yet. Decided to do the commentary first tonight. But now it's kind of a top deck war. It's kind of what it's boiled down to. And they did take 1,000 from that skill drain too. And then we're going to see Vala, which I want to go ahead and read. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one other Generaider card from your hand or field to the graveyard, especially on this card, but banish when leaves the field. Okay. I guess that's what that does. And then he can bring one back, getting into another rank 9, going to another Jormunder. And he says, here, take my Imperm. And put that skill drain underneath it. Activate a boss stage. That's one hell of a card to have here. And just like that, they are seemingly back in the driver's seat. Pass turn, they draw Ash for turn. That's perfect to shut down the boss stage, because you gotta shut that down. Cannot let that resolve. Slam that Fractal down onto the board. Banish Kit and Nerval. We're going for a Link 2 play. And they're going to chain the Jormunder, detaching the Imperm, make both players draw 1, and then attach. They're going to attach a Nib. They're going to attach a Mardell. And they're going to bring out Ancient Dragon Warriors, which can out the Jormunder, sending off the Fractal, bouncing it, and swinging in for, I think, only 1,600, I believe, Ancient Dragon Warriors has. And they're just going to go ahead and pass, draw, find a Diviner off the top. That is pretty good. That's going to go ahead and send a Trias Hierarchia. That can tribute it, or tribute off the Diviner to special summon itself, and that'll trigger Diviner's other effect. If it's tributed, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower fairy monster from your deck or hand. It's going to bring out Button. And that's going to bring out a level 1 tuner, basically. So they could have gone for a bear in there, but Ancient Dragon Warriors is going to send itself to bounce the Trias back to the hand. And they're going to pass turn there, draw. It's just OSS, which is pretty bad to have here. And that's going to trigger the boss stage here, putting them back in the driver's seat yet again in a pretty big way. And they're going to go ahead and use Trias Hierarchy's other effect here. Quick effect, tribute up to 3. And if you use 2, you can tribute 1 just a special summon, but if you do 2+, you can destroy a card your opponent controls, 3, draw 2 cards. And that is just a huge blowout right there. at the end. So we're going to see the Runick Generator deck take that match 2-1 in a very exciting end. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members, who are Misfid, Pony Stark, Cadillacs, Green, H8 Cyber, and Robin's Assistant. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and very, very generous support of the channel.